if you've watched my latest clan boss video, you know I hit 6.5 mil with this team. And if you notice, one thing in this comp is that most of my heroes are missing ascensions. Going back and looking at the roster, this is currently my roster, and I have a lot of heroes. Most of my heroes don't have a whole lot of ascensions, with the exception of a few epics. Some of my epics are maxed out, and the rest are still missing a lot of ascensions, like Marion Shadowblood, like Jacob, who I really need, like Bach, and so on. Right now, our hero pools are so diluted that it's getting very difficult to get duplicates of heroes. Now, why do we need duplicates of heroes? The simple answer is most of the heroes' traits are active on their 5th ascension, and unfortunately, that is what it takes. Now, right now, I am waiting on the 5th ascension of Marion Shadowblood for her speed, and that has been extremely difficult to get. As of right now, if we look in the index, we have 132 heroes between legendaries and epics. That's right, legendaries and epics, we have 132 heroes, which does not sound like a lot, but considering you need 5 copies of the same hero to get their ascension trait working, that is a lot, which means you need 5 times as many heroes, because in this game, you actually want duplicates. Now, what is the problem with this system? Well, if we go back and we look at the roster, right now I have 1,700 heroes altogether, and I've seen much higher. I've seen 3 to 4 times more than what I have here. And the issue with this is, as I mentioned before, most of their traits are not active until their 5th ascension, right? You need their ascension, their A5 ascension, which means you need 4 copies of that hero on top of the regular pool as well. So you need 5 copies altogether to reach their A5. And this is where all of the damage is done. This is where most of their hero's potential is unlocked, is on their trait. And unfortunately, we have moved from Ascension 2 to Ascension 5. Now, when I first started playing the game over a year ago, most of the heroes had their ascensions on A2. And this was very easy to get. By the way, Sierra is fusible now, and her ascension is on A2. Her trait is activated on her 2nd ascension, and ever since then, we have flooded the pool with so many heroes, and at the same time, we have moved the ascensions to A5, making it much more difficult to get good traits activated like Bach, because his ascension is all the way on A5, and for me to pull 5 more copies of Bach is going to be very difficult because I am not a whale. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I have also been playing for a full year, over a year, and right now, if we look at my legendaries, I have, between my light and my dark, I have 1 of each. Now, how am I supposed to get ascensions for these good heroes? This is going to be impossible. It took me a year to get 1 light and 1 dark legendary, and to get them ascended is going to be impossible considering the potions don't work on them. And speaking of potions, those are no longer available for sale. You can no longer buy them, making it a lot more difficult for us to be able to ascend our heroes. So all in all, the game has been moving in a very negative direction. When this game first came out, we were actually all excited to get duplicates. Getting duplicates for heroes was very nice because your heroes got a lot stronger because of their ascension. And when the game first started, most of the ascensions, or all of the ascensions, all of the traits were active on the 2nd ascension. And as the game continued to progress, we have moved from the 2nd ascension to the ascension number 5, which means we have to get a lot more. Now it's a lot harder to get those traits activated, which means the game wants us to spend more money, and that makes a very frustrating gaming experience. Right now, since we have been getting new heroes, we are getting 3 to 4 new heroes every other week, every 2nd week, which means twice a month we are getting 8 new heroes every single month, and that is just way too much. Myself personally, I can't keep up with all the new heroes coming out. Let me know how you feel in the comments about all of the new heroes. If you did not realize, we are getting 6 to 8 new heroes every single month because we do have a new patch every other week, and that is twice a month. So right now, they are flooding the game with new heroes. New heroes are always good. However, it is not always good to have a bunch of level 50s or a bunch of level 60s with no ascensions on them and no traits activated. If you look at my roster right here, most of these heroes are unascended because I only pulled one copy of these, with the exception of a couple at the top. I got one copy of Bach. I got one copy of Cyrus, who's not very useful. Hector, I am currently using in my banker team. If you haven't seen that video, I did hit 6.5 mil, which I know is not very impressive. There are people that are hitting almost 30, but for me, I feel like it's very, very good. And Garono, I got pretty lucky. I pulled 2 copies of her, which is very, very nice. But currently, she is ungeared because that is one thing I'm struggling with. So, in my opinion, let me know if you agree. I think this needs to stop. They need to stop coming out with more heroes and give us a way to allow to use our current heroes to empower our current heroes, or put some kind of a fix into the game, some kind of a way for us to be able to get duplicates. I don't know if it's more potions, easier to obtain potions, or some kind of a different system so we can start getting ascensions, like my Mathasia has no ascensions at all, and that is very, very sad. So let me know in the comments down below if you agree, if you disagree. Let me know how many heroes you have as well, and if you are struggling in the same area of the game as I am. When the game first started, I really, really liked it, and at this point, I am having a very negative player experience, and I wanted to share my thoughts with you. Do me a huge favor, hit the like and a subscribe. Also, leave me a nice comment down below. Let me know what you think of all of the new heroes flooding the game, and all of our hero pools being greatly diluted. I look forward to all of your comments. For more BearCozy videos, check out the top right.